Hi Taurus, these are the highlights of your 2020 horoscope. So in 2020, Taurus gets to rejoice in the amount of energy saturating your houses of travel, publishing, law and higher learning. If you're summoned to court this year, the outcome will be life-changing for you. I could say for the better because lucky Jupiter is there, and this is not the whole story. It would not be fair to mislead all Taurians that the judges gave all this slam down on their side necessarily. Jupiter is not working alone because Saturn and Pluto are also in this sector, and Saturn wants his karmic debts paid back no matter what the sob story is. If you've been a good little humanoid, then you probably haven't done anything to worry about. You will get exactly what you deserve, for better or for worse, with Jupiter conjunct Pluto in this zone. The so-called millionaire's aspect could give you a great divorce settlement or not. You may equally be the one who has to dish out the compensation. So this year could be one that could be very, very good or very, very bad when it comes to the law. Otherwise, if you're studying in higher education, you probably will have the smoothest ride. I mean, what could go wrong in that department? So these are your keywords: broadening horizons, travel mania, change is good as a rest rather, sorry, life-changing laws, mystical friends, influential cults and cultures, winning court cases and being flexible. So Saturn and Pluto will help you immerse yourself into your subject, and you could get very blessed with it in a good way. Another area that is well starred is travel and by extension business with foreigners. Studying abroad would be fabulous and life-changing, and you could easily meet a long-term love partner or best friend on your journeys. You must be getting used to Uranus in your sign by now. Taurus, the most plodding of the fixed signs, doesn't like change much, but Uranus makes you a little bit more like an Aquarian this year. So here are your challenges with Saturn. Now, the main thing to watch out for with Saturn is becoming too set in your beliefs. You may test them and think, okay, that's it, they work, I'm sticking with this for the rest of my life. So this is a sort of time where a person becomes a Jehovah's Witness, joins a cult. I'm not going to say the next bit because people will jump on me. Forget it. If you want to find out what that word is, go and buy the ebook. It's most likely to occur around Saturn conjunct Pluto on January the 12th, but it shouldn't be that extreme for you, Taurus. Leave that for the most zealous signs. Having said that, the day after you have Persephone abduction aspect on January the 13th, sorry, with Ceres conjunct Pluto. So Jupiter for this year, this is your blessings and your growth. It travels alongside Saturn in your international zone practically all year until December the 20th. So these two gods balance things out nicely in terms of growth and prosperity. You won't overspend on holiday, and you won't get too carried away with your wanderlust either. Events that occur at this time seem to have a special destined feel about them and result from being able to tap into universal intelligence. Jupiter conjunct South Node on January the 8th will be one of those days when synchronicity points the way to success. Venus sextile Jupiter on January the 23rd is another day when you get that sense of the architect in the sky, and there is less pressure that you have to work everything out yourself. Now, for your Ceres and Lilith transits, that is your magic and healing. With Ceres, we start off with the Persephone-esque conjunction of Ceres conjunct Pluto in Capricorn on January the 13th. So for this, for you, it leaves you quite vulnerable to an abduction by a tall, dark, handsome stranger on holiday, as the olden day books used to say. The majority of the year, Lilith will be in Aries, and that's going to be in your extra witchy and mystical zone, especially when Mars joins Lilith there from June the 28th to October the 20th, so that's quite a long time. Now, Mars can bring inflammation if you do not give yourself enough TLC, then illness could be the result. But being ill will force you to slow down. But if you've really been abusing yourself, you could be hospitalized. So just be careful with that one. That's 12th house stuff. The Mars and Venus retrogrades for you. Now, for you, they're not in particularly potent places for love, I'm afraid, for Taurus. And Venus is your ruler as well, so it's going to spend an extra long time in your house of cash and self-esteem. So if you've been feeling poor and sorry for yourself, at least you might get your mojo back along with the first daffodils of spring. See them as happy wealth pentacles blossoming in your bank account. Now, Mars retrograde in Aries is really the antithesis of your own energy. Plus, it will be spent in your 12th house of self-undoing, where it can do some damage if you're not vigilant. Don't despair though, this is a wonderful time to take that spiritual retreat that I mentioned earlier. And this way you will keep out of trouble and less likely to be found hammered on a sunbed in Benidorm. That Mars will spend so much time in this house, you might inadvertently unearth some hidden enemies as well. So I'm just laughing at Benidorm. Sorry, if you're American, you probably don't know what Benidorm is, but it's a resort in Spain that is kind of notorious for drunken English holiday makers just getting completely drunk and then collapsing on sunbeds. Anyway, so that's a little bit of a insight to European culture there for you. So the decans now, I do look at your decans in this ebook. So here's a little taster of each of those for the Taurus decans. So for Taurus decan 1, you will have the Uranus conjunction, the Saturn square, and the Jupiter trine. So for you, you're enjoying fundamental change with your physical body and soul, which is impacting the rest of your life. Now, Uranus works quite strangely in Taurus, so like the rest of us, you're still trying to figure it out as well. Does Uranus in Taurus work like the sign Aquarius? Well, it could be with you. It could actually be resistance to progressiveness in the collective, which makes you a microscopic version of what is happening in the wider world. This transit will last a few years on and off, so if you want to make radical changes to your appearance, you might start making those now. So Taurus decan 2, you get the Neptune sextile this year, Uranus conjunction at some point, and then the Jupiter trine. So lucky you, you actually get the easiest combinations of planets in for your planet salad this year. Planet salad, salad planets, planetary salads. Anyway, the Neptune sextile will allow you to run with your dreams, while Uranus brings the inventiveness that could ignite those visions into reality. You have just the right materials to manifest romance with artistry and also travel to your bucket list of locations. You just have to believe that it's possible. Neptune is a sextile is lovely because it's the least offensive and most imaginative. So with Taurus decan 3, April the 30th to May the 9th, you get the Pluto trine all year, then the Neptune sextile on and off, the Saturn trine on and off, and the Jupiter trine on and off. So you're going to be the busiest Taurus this year, probably the most successful, as you get the benefit of the triple conjunction of Pluto, Saturn and Jupiter all trining your decan. That's brilliant. So your proverbial chickens come home to roost and everything comes together. This is one of those life-changing years that has a ninth house theme. So that means you could marry a foreigner, move abroad, pass important exams, and those exams could affect your career forever. So yeah, that brings me to the end of your highlights of 2020. So come to the website. I'll leave the link below for the 2020 Taurus ebook, and I think it's 5,000 words this year. All of that for $3.95 US. Okay, thanks for listening. All the best. Bye-bye.